I think the agents with FDLE talked to you last week about some voter fraud, voter stuff, when you weren't supposed to be voting, maybe?
I didn't.
So,
what are they talking about?
that's
man?
what we're not the case agents, but what you got to do, they have reduced your bond quite a bit. It's 2 felony charges for voter fraud, but they've reduced it to $500 bonds. So it's $1,000 total.
Oh my God, man! What?
So, yes, sir. So unfortunately, right now we're gonna have to take you to jail, but you got a bond right away. You don't have to go to first appearance, nothing like that. So,
in Florida,
I proposed this, and this was my idea.
This is how Ron DeSantis conducts business.
We have a warrant for your arrest.
For what?
For voter fraud.
good. How are you, sir?
I'm like, voter fraud? I voted, but I ain't commit no fraud.
Well, so that's the thing. I don't know exactly what happened with it, but you do have a warrant. That's what it's for. Okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened with that, but...
I got out. The guy told me that I was free and clear to go vote or whatever, because I done my time.
Yep.
I was free.
But the warrant was just made yesterday.
Arresting folks for alleged voter fraud, a public stunt and direct dog whistle to the big lie Republicans like Donald Trump cling to with unsubstantiated claims. Heading into 2024, the Republican ticket is up for grabs, with former President Trump still holding strong.
Trump at 71, Ron DeSantis at 10%.
Woke ideology, woke executives.
Florida is where woke goes to die.
While Florida Governor DeSantis tries imitating the former president to woo voters, in sports, DeSantis would reflect on his Little League career, calling his team local celebrities in the area. Sports serve many purposes in life, including relationships, structure, consistency, perseverance, teamwork. One would think DeSantis would learn these lessons. Instead, it has been divide, rule, and conquer. Now, Major League Baseball has acted previously.
We begin today with baseball pulling this year's All-Star game out of Georgia in protest of the state's new restrictive voting laws.
It was a move that Republicans despised, with cancel culture, a Jim Jordan favorite, being brought to the forefront.
Georgia's election integrity law is just the latest sign that Biden's plea for unity, of course, was all a sham.
And yeah, they had a field day invoking fear instead of cutting through the teeth on why Major League Baseball did such a thing. As famed journalist and author Howard Bryant explained through his sources, it was not about a boycott or anything of the like. It was corporate sponsor pressure not wanting to be associated with this.
Why are y'all arresting her? Why are you arresting her? Can you cite the code?
When Georgia State Rep Park Cannon was arrested by Republicans when they tried to conduct a vote without members present on ripping up voting rights. Which brings us back to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The gutting of public education has been in motion to dumb down the American public, using woke as a negative to mean learning about black and brown experiences, understanding systemic racism, etc. DeSantis has ordered anything that might threaten bigoted white minds to be removed from the shelves. That includes the great Hank Aaron.
Aaron continually faced obstacles white players did not, including death threats while approaching Babe Ruth's career home run record. I was surprised to read in what should have been the most exciting period of your life, you're chasing Babe Ruth's record. It wasn't.
It was not.
Why not?
I couldn't go out of the ballpark without an escort. I had to stay in another hotel rather than staying in a hotel with my teammates.
And his book, Hank Aaron's Dream. Jackie Robinson, who broke baseball's color barrier in 1947, his book was also banned by DeSantis, which is titled The Hero Two Doors Down. Another, Unstoppable, how Jim Thorpe and the Carlisle Indian School football team defeated Army. It's the story of Thorpe, a Native American who was one of the greatest athletes of all time in the country. In addition, the great Roberto Clemente's picture book biography, including his rise from Puerto Rico to his philanthropy, was banned. Only Clemente and Hank Aaron's books were given the green light to be placed back on the shelves. That's when longtime sports columnist and professor Kevin Blackistone concocted the following idea. Citing a 2018 study, it was estimated spring training brings in almost $700 million to the state of Florida. It likely does more, as this was some 5 years ago now. Blackistone would then reference former MLB owner Bill Veeck, who bought Cleveland's team in 1946. 1 year later, he moved their spring training location from Florida to Arizona because of Jim Crow laws and its effort on black ball players, including where they could stay and eat. Veeck was viewed as a revolutionary in the sport, but also a problem amongst his fellow owners. He signed Larry Doby, which integrated the American League. 2 other big-name clubs would relocate from Florida after Veeck's initial departure. If baseball is still concerned with as much, its 15 franchises that started spring training last month in Florida should consider making the annual exercise an all-cactus league affair, as long as DeSantis commands an attack on diversity. It has been the hallmark of his governorship, which many believe is a prologue to a presidential bid, wrote Blackistone. Although he calls those moves these days impractical, Blackistone would offer this. They could collectively, or through MLB's front office, let their displeasure with DeSantis' leadership, with its hints of the troubling days of yesteryear, be known. After all, so many of the issues DeSantis has made noise standing against are the same issues baseball has made noise standing for in recent years. Diversity, inclusion, education about the game's and the country's unsavory racial past, which merits at least a small display now at its Cooperstown Museum attached to the hall. As Robinson noted way back in '56, to a large extent the Southerners, particularly those in politics, are to blame for Jim Crow. On the other hand, it's my belief that baseball itself hasn't done all it can to help remedy the problems faced by those playing in organized baseball. Baseball, as everyone knows, is big business. It is my belief, therefore, that pressures can be brought to bear by organized baseball that would help remedy a lot of the prejudices that surround the game as it's played below the Mason-Dixon line. Per Blackistone once more, if history is repeating itself in Florida, so too should Robinson's sentiment.